We've all heard the notorious quote that it's the little things in life that count. And other than your bank account, your size, and your height, I would say this is true for the most part. But then there's the little things in life that we wish weren't counted, aka minor inconveniences, pet peeves, or whatever you want to call them. It's these teeny tiny little annoying things that somehow manage to ruin the entire day for you. And I'll first start off with one that makes me go psychiatrically insane and want to watch the entire world burn. And that's when you need to sneeze but can't. It's something about this feeling that just irks me to my core. Your body feels it coming. Your organs start getting into position to brace themselves for the sneeze, and your nose and mouth just don't want to comply. It's like that badass kid everybody had in elementary school that just never listened to the teachers just because. I swear, your body does it specifically just to annoy you. The next one we've got is when someone decides to fully open your closed door like they're splitting the sea like Moses, and then when they decide to leave, it's like they forgot that it was closed in the first place. And 99% of the time, the people doing this are either your parents, older family members, or siblings. Like, I swear they got a brain chip implanted with them to do this specifically on purpose. I had to legit train my mom to stop doing this, and the training is still going on, by the way. I don't know, it might just piss me off more because I'm a private person and like my sanctuary space. So when you mess up the flow I got going on, it throws me off to a complete different space. And when you have this going on for years and years of your life, your anger starts to add up. Like, the people know full and well you've told them to close the door for years, and it's like they get hit with the Men in Black forget flash. The next one we've got is placing something down for a millisecond, and when you go back to look for it, it's like Satan himself took the item down to the underworld and you have to scavenge your whole house just to find it. I feel like my shit just genuinely be disappearing into the abyss sometimes, because I placed it down with my brain thinking that, hey, this is a good spot to put it, only for me to have to panic search everywhere and lose my mind trying to find it. And after hours of excruciatingly searching up and down everywhere, you fully have given up your life's will to God and are about to call it quits. The item just appears randomly. God just decided to spawn it back in the game and you're all good now. The next one we've got is when you get all snuggled and tuggled up in your bed. You've got the proper cooling set on the pillow, the perfect position to be knocked out for hours, and right as you're about to close your eyes, you gotta pee. It's always that exact scenario and nothing else. It's never when you don't care. It's never before you actually get into bed. It's always as soon as you're about to sleep. And sometimes I be contemplating with myself if I should even go to use the bathroom. Like, do I really want to get up and let my body naturally function? Or should I say f it and let the bed super soak? And speaking of being in a bed, you know when you wake up from an amazing sleep session, the birds are chirping, the sun is rising, and you go to check your phone only to realize that you never charged it. This quite literally will alter your whole day. Because nowadays we rely so much on our phones that you either gotta barely use it to make sure it doesn't die throughout the day, or have to charge it at awkward random times through the day. A lot of times this happens to me when I'm watching something the night before and fall asleep so I forget. And I'll include with this one too, the feeling when you actually charge your dead iPhone and it ends up feeling like it's hours before the phone actually turns on. Look, I know Apple's engineers aren't the brightest, but god damn, I'm pretty sure Apple does this on purpose, because the longer I need my phone to actually be on and working, the longer it'll actually take to turn on. It's like the world is on slow motion and 0.1 playback speed or something, which is where I have to give accolades to droids. When I had my droid fortnights ago, I wouldn't have this problem. I just plugged in the charger and it turned on. Keeping up with the topics of phones though, another one is the awkward charge angle. You know when you're in desperate need of charging juices, and the only way you can get your charger to comply is by mathematically breaking down the proper adjacent angle for it to actually work. I be in there stressing on how to get these to work, which is when you know you're down bad. You're yanking the cord from all types of angles, left, right, front, center, above, down, diagonal. I feel like everyone has had at least one charger like that where it's the only way you can get it to work. And there's a high chance the charger probably looks like this, or like this. Me personally, I'm gonna use my shit until it's on its last legs, because I paid good damn goddamn money for this, so why should I have to get a new one? And most of the time it is the unbranded name chargers too. If your charger's like that, there's a high chance you got it from unpronounceable name company on Amazon. The next one we got is when you try to log into any website and then you realize, damn, I forgot my password again. So you go to the password reset tab, and when you type in a new password, it tells you that you can't use the same old one. Should be ruining my feng shui and the flow I got going on. Obviously, I'm trying to put the password again because it's what works for me. And it, I don't care if I get hacked again. I'd rather get hacked a million times and have to reset it every day with the same one than make a new one. Like, adding a new password into your password rotation is a whole process. First, your brain has to confirm it as a valid fit you can actually remember. Then you have to use it on a couple websites before you officially remember it and determine it's good. That's why once you have that password you make at like 10 years old, you're locked in with it for life. It stays in your rotation forever. And really thinking of it, that's probably why everybody gets their accounts stolen so easy nowadays. Be honest with me, okay? If someone steals your password on one website you use, they get in a bundle of 98 other websites with it too. The next one we've got is the clogged nostril. I don't wish a clogged nostril on my worst of worst enemies, bro. A stuffy nose will always creep up on you on the most random of random times, and you genuinely become less of a functioning human being because of it. I mean, the nose was built with 2 holes for a reason. And it's only at that exact moment when one of your nostrils is clogged that you realize you take breathing for granted. Breathing's just a thing that's supposed to happen naturally, and you're not supposed to struggle with it, nigga. So why am I struggling with basic human functioning? It makes no sense to me. And it's even worse when you have 2 clogged nostrils. Shit will have you contemplating ending your life. The next one we've got is when you pour a full bowl of cereal. The cereal is looking glistening as ever. And as soon as you're ready to pour some milk in that hoe, you open the fridge to find none. Now the whole dopamine rush you were supposed to get from the cereal is gone. It just ruins your day. After that, you gotta do the cereal pour of shame and put it back in the bag, or the wrap of shame and wrap it up until you eventually find some milk. Some people go with different options. Since they're still hungry, they just say f it and turn on the faucet and use water as the substitute. Some get the nice container of juice sitting in the fridge and use it as a substitute. And not gonna lie, there was one time in my life where I was so down bad with my cereal cravings that I actually did it. Was eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch with OJ. Safe to say the trip to the bathroom was disastrous. The next one we got is walking in a room and completely forgetting what you were in the room for. Like, genuinely, how the does this even happen? You just be spawning in the room and look around like, wait, what was I here for again? It truly makes me feel like an NPC. And it's funny because as soon as you leave the room, then and only then do you remember what you were in the room for. The next one we got is someone eating your food you saved. The more family you have, the more likely you are to experience this. People just see the food in the fridge and will choose it as their own personal pickings. You could lock that shit into an 100-ton, 12-turn locksmith and it would still be eaten. And it's especially worse when it's the nighttime. That's the time when the night cravings start to kick in and your body needs food in it. My anger after finding out makes me feel like I could fight Prime Mike Tyson in a one-on-one. The next one we got is simple, and it's having to repeat something. And I'm not talking about the typical repeating you do when someone really didn't hear you the first time. It's when you have to repeat something 5 times just for the dumbass person to understand you. Their ears just clock at the conversation and I don't even think they know they exist. I truly think they just spawned in the world at that moment and haven't had their render distance fully loaded in. And don't get this twisted, okay? This is different from something like spacing out, because everyone spaces out. But you'll always have one dumbass special individual not be able to comprehend even a statement with their full attention. The next one we got is the headphone snag. You know when you're having a jolly old walk with your headphones in and out of nowhere, the forces of Zeus, Hermes, Poseidon, and Ares all come together as your headphone gets caught on the door, flinging your headphones from half across the earth and whipping you back in the process. Before the wireless headphone era, this was one of the most annoying things that would occur on a daily basis. And don't let this happen in public. There's no coming back from that. Now you're scouring the floor to find your phone and then you have to walk away like nothing happened even though everybody noticed it. And the very last one we've got is when you can't find the power outlet. This almost exclusively happens when you're trying to plug in your phone charger in the outlet near your bed and the power outlet vanishes from existence. It's like it was never meant to be in this universe. I think we need a competition at this point on who can eyeball the power outlet the best, because it is a legit skill if you can plug in something without looking at the power outlet. Most of the time I eventually give in and use my eyeballs to plug it in. So to wrap things up, Actually, there's nothing to wrap up. Minor inconveniences. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.